What's up? Good morning, guys. How we doing? We are 4 minutes out here from the close of Big Bar 22. You're looking at a 5-minute NQ chart. Of course, we're trading Nasdaq futures. We'll take a look at gold potentially if ATR here on NQ continues to fall, currently at 25. Now, that ATR number bottom of your screen in red, that is the average range in points of a 5-minute bar. Okay, that's based on the last 10 5-minute bars from the time you're looking at it. So, if that continues to fall and turns into like 12, well, we might have to bounce around a little bit, but 25 is still workable. Just understand, contextually speaking, it's lower than what we've been seeing as of late, especially just a couple weeks ago. So, bar 22. Let's see what we get as far as a close here out of 22. I might have something I got to do. 3 minutes, 18 seconds out. Good morning, guys. How we doing? All right, Bulls. 2 minutes out here. 2-minute warning. See if the Bulls can pop this baby, close us up around 25.710. A little more maybe would even be better. Very little wick. And if the Bulls can get that done, then I've got a big old stop limit buy for them. Clean this up. Man, what price action today, though, huh? From bar 4, look at 4 to 14. Good God, that is brutal. So more than likely, you probably haven't taken many trades today, and if you have, I think it's about time you get your ass in the tomb. Let's see what 22 gives me here, though. I might have something to do on 22 again. Got to see a clean bull close. 60 seconds out. Let's see what they bring here. All right, pop on over to the execution screen. "20 seconds out. Copy trader engaged." Come on, Bulls. Pop it, pop it, pop it. That is ugly. All right, now I wait on 23. Let's see what 23 brings. Way too much wick, closing inside the wick high of 20 and 19. Realistically, the best trade of the day so far. And let's just look at setup, right? There's really nothing through here. Buying the close of 18 there was the most reasonable RAM trade of the day. Would have worked. Would have, well. Yeah, probably would have worked for you. But that right there is the only reasonable trade so far today. It'll clean up. When you get mornings like this, I gotta tell you, it's pretty uncommon that the entire rest of the day looks like bar 4 through bar 14. I really, we don't see that much. If the morning sucks like this, usually you start getting a little bit of cleaner price action because one side tends to give up. That doesn't mean volatility is going to go to 45 on the ATR necessarily, though it would be nice. It would be nice. But I mean, come on, show me the last chart, 5-minute chart, New York session, where NQ looked like 4 to 14 the entire day and it wasn't a holiday. Kind of hard to come by. Probably have to go all the way back to summer. Yeah, bar 15, they're asking was bar 15 is not a setup? Nope. See 13, 14, I would need to wait for 16. 16 rolls over, immediately gives you this. There's nothing consecutive, even a little bit of something to make an argument that 15 is maybe B minus, but it's not there. It's the first bar. I'm not traditionally interested in taking a continuation trade after red to the bull side. Let me put it this way. On the first bull body after red, now, there's nuance here. If we get 15, let's put it this way. Say bar 13 looked like bar 15. And then bar 14 looks the same as it currently does. And then 15, the same as it currently does. So you get big bull body, small doji, or small tiny wiki bear body, or bull body. And then you get 15, all of a sudden it's a 3-bar sequence with a little gap, which is fine. I will take it. For me, 15 is nothing there. I have to wait for 16. This will all come very, I think, naturally to you at some point. It doesn't take a lot of thought, which is very nice. All right, here comes the rollover. There is the open of bar 24. Okay, now what I start to look for here is a soft bull channel, so let's see how 24 closes up. All right, ATR is 23. Volatility is pretty low, but we can work with above 20. Above 20 is fine. Of course, not ideal, but it's all right. Three minutes out here from the close of 24. Let's see what we did. Any of you guys trade like middle of the night in the States? ATR was 12, 10 to 12. I did not. I will trade usually earlier in the evening if ATR is good. But honestly, I prefer, if ATR is there, I'll do it. I'll sit and I'll work. But most nights I prefer not to, because a lot of times what happens in the overnight session, and I think in the early days you're like, that sounds fucking awesome. But you'll be sitting here and it's getting later and later and later and later, and you're still in your office, and it's like, okay, it's time to be done and go spend time with the people you want to hang out with, you know. So sitting in here all night waiting for a trade to play out is not great. All right, let's pop on over to the execution screen. Let's see what bar 24 gives us. All right, 20 seconds out. Copy trader engaged. Let's see if the bears can give us a nice low close within reason. There you go, bears. Pull that in. Here comes the rollover. Boom! I will buy that rollover. I will risk the wick low of 18. And that is a bet on a soft bull channel. Let's see if the bulls can take us back upside a bit. ATR 21. Come on now, Bulls. Step in. You know, man, even when volatility's slow, you gotta show up. Gotta show up to work, see what you can put together. Now, if it's really, really bad, then perhaps your time is better invested taking care of you. Doing something you like doing mentally. Take care of yourself psychologically. But when it's reasonable, ATR 23, that's not too bad. We'll take about half of an ATR for a scalp. That was the intention upon entry, so we'll pull it and move on. What do we get? 2,100 bucks, a little bit more. All right, let's move on. What are you guys so confused about? Is, hang on. Here's MNQ. MNQ have a big wick. Yeah, so the reason that didn't affect me is because I trade my leader on the NQ chart. And I do not use orders mode. I use executions mode on my copier. So when I'm trading, the only account that has actual orders out is the leader account on NQ. For this reason. Now there's drawbacks. If the power goes out, you want to have an uninterrupted power supply, otherwise your other accounts are not protected. But my leader is on NQ, and I'm trading the copier using executions mode, so it only does stuff in the follower accounts when my leader account does something. Because you see this on MNQ kind of a lot. Well, not a lot, but you know what I mean. So back to NQ. That is ugly, man. Jesus. That micro chart. You have negative reward to risk. Well, I haven't way more than the last few days. Not on every trade. It depends on the trade. On scalps, range scalps, which today is a range, I will take negative reward to risk more often. Now, you got to think about the math here, right? This is a really common problem for beginners, even novice traders. This is a mental issue. They don't think this through. Let's just use a dramatic example. If you risk 100 points to make 5, the probability is no longer 50-50 because the market's pretty efficiently priced with little openings here and there. Okay, so negative reward to risk, let's put it this way. If big positive reward to risk can work, meaning 3-to-1 reward to risk, you risk 1 to make 3, the probability of success goes down a lot on those trades. Doesn't mean you can't be profitable. If that is true, which it is, the other also has to be true, which is negative reward to risk. You can be profitable if you take trades that are negative reward to risk, as long as that probability comes up plus your little bit of edge, which of course it does. So listen, there's nothing wrong with negative reward to risk, but I try to squeeze more out of continuation trades, especially on trend days or when the context in the market is trend. On range, I'll say this, in range environments, because you can have multiple environments in the same day, I tend to lean harder into scalping, which often is going to end up, just by the way the trade is structured, negative reward to risk. But what happens to probability? It creeps up, right? So it doesn't make it a losing strategy. It just makes the math look different. But you gotta understand that if you're going to trade, because you're not always going to be able to structure the perfect exact trade. You might go negative reward to risk. Guess what? Probability is now higher. By the way, it's not better to take a big reward to risk trade. It has a lower probability. It's not better or worse. It's just different. Now, I would argue in prop trading, doing that, risking 1 to make 5 is kind of tough because you have trailing drawdown if the accounts are relatively new. Just got to think about the math, right? 435 out, you're on bar 27. All right, now as that pulls in deeper beneath the wick low of 25, I start looking at this and saying, okay, I no longer want to take unless we can get a pushback upside. I no longer want to take a soft bull channel scalp because this to me looks like it might just develop into a sideways trading range. So we got to let it develop. Let it do its thing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave that out. And we'll see if this becomes relevant. Right now, it's important to understand in this kind of situation where you get kind of a melt up out of the bulls with a lot of wicks, just so happens to be a lot of wicks today. Usually, this doesn't mean every time, but more often than not, once that move starts to lose steam, you're going to enter a sideways trading range, whatever it ends up looking like, before you just get a complete A shape. Right, so it's less probable that the bears will be able to just completely reverse take us down through the wick low of 10, through the wick low of 4, before we do some kind of sideways trading range. This is probabilities. It doesn't mean it's a certainty. Do not take a trade based on what I just said. But you should be aware that more often than not, it takes a little more for the bulls to completely give up when they've won the entire morning. Does that make sense? So, if the bears can, which I would actually prefer, because then we're quicker to a trade, but if the bears can reverse it right away, that'd be great. But just know that that's going to happen less often. Okay, so the difference between... By the way, this bar here, I'd have to wait for 28, because this is coming right into the 20 EMA. 45 seconds out, let's see. So, those of you guys using copy traders, the difference between orders mode and executions mode, depending on what it, might be called something different, but most copy traders have this feature. I am again using the Affordable Indicators copy trader. The difference is, orders mode puts out orders in every account. Executions mode only puts the orders, meaning the stop and the take profit, out in the leader account. Okay, and entry orders. And then once the leader account does something, it immediately triggers all the other accounts to do something at market. Now, orders mode can cause issues. If you're using stop limit buys, stop limit sells, take profits, you will sometimes get partial fills if you're in orders mode in the follower accounts. Because they're limit orders a lot of the time, which is a huge pain in the ass. So I use executions mode, which sure, on average, you get slightly worse fills because it triggers all the followers to just execute at market price. But I don't care. NQ is so deep and the spreads are so tight, it does not matter to me. Now, of course, is it optimal? No. But we're copy trading across a bunch of accounts. You got to do what is most optimal for the current situation. So, using orders mode and ending up with partial fills every other trade is a nightmare. I've been there, I've done that, it's a nightmare. So I just use executions mode. I accept that, hey, I'm executing at market, but NQ, the spreads are really tight, so I don't care. Sometimes it even works in your favor, so whatever. But, really important to think about, if there's no stop loss or take profit orders out in your follower accounts, when everything's up and running, you're fine. Because if the leader account gets stopped, all the follower accounts get stopped. But, think about it. What happens if the power goes out? All your prop accounts are unprotected except for the leader account. So, you should have a backup power supply. An uninterrupted power supply, not only on your PC or laptop, but also on your router and modem, whatever else you need to just close things out. And you're like, wow, that all sounds really complicated. Yeah, well, we're trying to make a lot of money here, right? It's going to be a little complicated, but that's pretty damn simple. All right, 28, let's see what you got. Man, usually we're in a trade that volatility has died on when this song comes up, man. We can just enjoy it today. All right, right back into the trading range. All right, one trade in, 2,100 bucks so far. Let's keep it moving. I will be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. What's up? Welcome back. Let's see what we get out of bar 30 here. Come on now. Come on, big bar 30. So again, after a sequence like 28, 29 backfilling the full range, I personally need to wait on 30. And if we can get another moderate, at least, strong bar, bull bar, then I've got to trade. Got to be a nice bull close. "25 seconds out. Come on, bulls." I don't think they got it in them here. At least not yet. All right, there's the close of bar 30. Nothing on 30. So I wait for 31. Let's see. All right, halfway through. Bar 31. Come on, bulls. Let's see if they can pop this bait. Not too. Get rid of that trading range. And we're a minute 42 out. See if the bulls can hold that up. ATR 22. Well, Bull's really trying to take it green on the day here, huh? All right, 45 seconds out, so better pop over to the execution screen. Got 28, 29, small bear body, and then 31. Now, 31 needs to be pretty clean. Pretty clean here on the close is what I'm after. All right, 20 seconds out. Copy trader engaged. Come on, bulls. Hold it nice and clean. I don't hate that. Get a stop limit buy ready. 10 seconds. It's a reasonable rollover. I will leave that. Give that about 25 seconds to give us a fill. See if it can. 15 more seconds. Five seconds. Come on, bulls. Bunch of babies. All right, next bar. No fill, no trade. Moving on. They don't want it bad enough, so then neither do I. Now they take it. All right, we will watch 32, see if we get something similar out of 32. Three minutes here. Come on, 32. Give us some. Give us some. Nice clean close. All right, 43 seconds out. Come on, 32. Don't give us a doji, give us a pop. Now, if the bears try to take this thing back, all of a sudden I'm looking for a deeper pull-in with a potentially another soft bull channel style range scalp. Probably a little wider range at that point. So rollover coming here in 15 seconds on 32 into the open of 33. ATR down to 20. Man, let's not see that dip into the teens. That would be nice. Two minutes. All right, rollover into the open of 34 coming here in 15 seconds. Yeah, quickest path to a setup for me would be 34 dipping, closing beneath the wick low of 31. Or at least in that general vicinity. And of course, softball channel, so I'd look to buy it if anything. On the close. All right, 2 minutes out. I'm on 34. Get us low. ATR is about 20, high 19s. So we are dipping into the teens on ATR. Again, ATR is the average true range. That represents the average points range of each individual 5-minute bar. The average, based on the last 10 5-minute bars. So it gives us a volatility idea, or an idea of volatility, I should say. And 19 is low, man. 19 is low. Which is not ideal. We just gotta be patient. And if it comes, you take it. So let's see if it comes here on 34, 70 seconds out. All right. So let's pop on over. 15 seconds out. I will get the copy trader engaged and see if 34 can take us just a bit deeper. Want a little deeper in that channel. Come on, 34. That's not too bad. I will buy that. And I'm going to go ahead and risk the wick low of 27. And manage bar by bar if needed. Move that way up. ATR is 19. And let's see how that operates. All right, 3 minutes out here from the close. 35. All right, minute 45 out here from the close of 35. Let's see how it closes up. All right, there's the open of bar 36. Obviously, zero decision for me to make on 35. Big ol' wick. So we let it sit. ATR 19. All right, well, we're 20 seconds out here from the open of bar 37. Effectively break even on the trade. Come on, bulls. Step on it. So, you want to be a day trader, huh? It's been damn near 15 minutes, and we're break even. Away she goes. Patience pays, baby. All right, there's the open of bar 38. Volatility really starting to fall. ATR down to 17. Still manageable at 17. That's all right. Right, there's the open of 39. Do it to him, 39. Oh, goodness. Well, ATR is holding up. It's at 19. And saying that that's ATR holding up is a little bit sad. But at least it's not 9. We'll take 19. New bar. There's bar 40. All right. Somebody give Trump his iPhone, man. All right, 3 minutes out. Let's see how 40 closes up. This is a real test for some of you guys. The ability to be bored in today's day and age is a superpower, man. Almost nobody can do this. I'm bored out of my fucking skull right now looking at this trade. And you probably are too. Now, hanging out together helps a bit, right? But if nobody else can be bored, because everybody has TikTok brain, which I get it. If you can, it's gonna help you out. All right, we're 55 seconds out here from the close of 40. If 40 closes beneath the wick low of 35, I'll cut it. If it doesn't, I do nothing. Very simple decision making here. So, bar 40 closes beneath that line, I cut that thing and move on. $30 seconds. $10 seconds. It's inside. Nothing I can do. All right, now we watch 41. Same deal on 41. We get a nice clean bear body on 41. I cut it on the close. There you go, bulls. Let's do some work here. Let's get us back up high of this little range now. All right, bulls. You're doing a reasonable job here. You have to give me a little more than that if you want ear scratches. The bulls you gotta be kind of nice to. They're a sensitive bunch. The bears you can just yell at. And they'll just do as you please. The bulls you kind of gotta sweet talk them a little bit. Come on, 41. All right, there's the open of bar 42. Let's see what we get. Come on, 42. Do it to him. Oh man, there you go. Man, you know volatility's low. When a 10-point move is like, man, we're getting moving here, huh? Keep that pushing. Yeah, I'm looking to get minimum here, a full ATR. All right, here comes the rollover into bar 43. Now, if I were flat, looking to get long, I would wait for bar 43 to close. I would not take bar 42, which means I cannot adjust my stop yet. As much as you're probably tempted to do so, for me, I can't. That would be a rule break because I would not get long on 42. I'd be lying to myself. So I let it sit. All right, ATR just under 18 here. There you go, Bulls. Give us that follow through. We're getting all hyped up over 5-point moves, baby. There we are. See if we can get a fill for better than a full ATR. If not, I'll have to pull it. There we go. I was just about to pull it. We got a fill. And what'd we get? We got $3,400 on that trade, which leaves us up $5,600 on the day so far. So let's move on. Now, as far as stop hunting the wick high of 32, volatility's so low. It's so low. It's kind of hard to justify that. It's been there about an hour. The high of 32. Now, volatility was double what it is, and ATR was like 35 or 40. I'd be happy to if 43 closes clean here, which it looks like it's not gonna. Yeah, I mean, listen, the P&L it's all relative, right? I mean, when I started trading, my goal was to make $100 a day. I was like, dude, if I could make $100 a day, I'm rich, bro. That pays for lunch. That pays for a less than $200 a month car payment. I can pay rent. I was like pumped on $100 a day if I could get that. And I wasn't at first. It's all relative. It'll grow. Just let it grow. Follow your plan. If you're not going to be disciplined, then you're never going to get to big numbers. Whatever big means for you. Again, I'll say it again, man. Being bored in today's day and age, if you can embrace that, that's a superpower. Most people cannot today. That trade was a great example. That trade was very boring. Yeah, that's right. $100 a day. That was my goal when I was starting trading. That's $2,000 a month. Obviously, that was like a short-term goal. But it's not like the expenses were all that much back then. Car, less than $200 a month. Rent at that time, I think it was $800. And then real life gets real expensive. Guys, reminder, the Apex deal 60% off and $6 lifetime activation fees. That deal ends today. And single day pass, code BIG. The Take Profit Trader, of course, right now. Same code, code BIG. They're 30% off. And then no activation fee if you use the code. And then when you take your first payout in a pro account at Take Profit Trader, they refund you 100% of the initial test cost. So if you pass the so here's how it works at Take Profit. If you use code BIG and then you pass the pro account, or I guess into a pro account in the first month, and then you get a payout, it's effectively a free account. which is kind of nuts. All right, baby, I think we're in a little trading range here. All right, guys, I'm off to lunch. Hey, by the way, those of you guys in the tomb, we will be live 3 p.m. Eastern for our live training here today. All right, so if you want to get in on that, go ahead and join up and you'll be in on the live training. And then Tomb Talk, of course, is every single day. That'll go out later on tonight as well. All right, guys, see you tomorrow morning.